There's a place in Vermont where people vanish, without leaving a single footprint behind. 5 people gone, and search teams found nothing. No footprints, no clothing, no bodies. Locals call it the Bennington Triangle. So before we get into the theories about what really happened here, I'll start with the first person who fell victim to these woods. Middie Rivers, a 74-year-old local hunter, someone who knew these woods better than almost anyone. On November 12, 1945, he was leading a group of hunters through the Glastenbury wilderness. Rivers walked a little ahead, just far enough for the group to lose sight of him for a moment. But when they reached the spot where he should have been, he was gone. He vanished without a trace. No tracks, no body, nothing. As if the forest swallowed him whole. And he wasn't the last. On December 1st, 1946, Paula Welden, an 18-year-old college student, headed out to hike the long trail. Witnesses saw her walking toward the woods. And after that, she was missing, without explanation. Search teams combed every mile of the trail, but there were no clues, no evidence of a fight, nothing to show where she went or what happened. It was as if she stepped off the trail and simply never stepped back on. Some people believed Paula ran off with her boyfriend, but the next disappearance things got even stranger. 3 years later, a man vanished from a moving bus, while people were sitting all around him as it drove through the Bennington Triangle. His name was James Tedford. Witnesses remembered seeing him minutes before the final stop, but when the bus arrived, his seat was empty. His luggage was still there, even his ticket, but James was gone. No one saw him get off the bus. There were no extra stops. He just vanished into thin air, never to be seen or heard from again. And then, the forest took someone no one expected. An 8-year-old boy. October 1950. Paul Jepson was sitting in his mother's truck in a bright red jacket. She stepped away for less than an hour, and when she returned, Paul was gone. Bloodhounds tracked him toward Glastenbury Mountain. Then the scent just stopped. A child in a bright red coat, impossible to miss, had vanished without a trace. Later that same year, 53-year-old Frieda Langer vanished while camping with family. She walked back toward camp to change her clothes, and never arrived. Massive searches followed, and still, nothing. 7 months later, 2 men found her body in an open area, but that same area had already been searched, which means someone, or something, put her there later. Her remains were so badly decomposed that investigators couldn't determine how she died. And those were the 5 disappearances that define the Bennington Triangle. But here's the part most people never hear. There were other disappearances in the surrounding towns, people who vanished the same way, outside the triangle's borders, without tracks, clues, or explanations. Which leads to the theories, starting with the one investigators feared the most, a serial killer. Someone who knew the woods better than anyone, and used the mountains as their own hunting ground, choosing places where the terrain was so brutal, no search team would ever reach the bodies. And the victims? All different. A hunter, a college girl, a veteran, even a child. That kind of chaos isn't random. That's a predator, taking whoever was alone. But if it wasn't human at all, then the land itself may be hiding something. Long before any of these disappearances, the native Abenaki warned that Glastenbury Mountain was cursed. The Abenaki spoke of a cursed mountain, a belief held long before settlers ever arrived. They said the land was home to trickster spirits, beings that could mimic voices, cloud the mind, and lure travelers off the trail without a sound. Some said these spirits could make familiar paths change, silence the woods around you, or lure you towards something you couldn't see. To them, the mountain wasn't just dangerous. It was alive, and it did not want to be disturbed. And honestly, this part kind of gives the same atmosphere as Stephen King, or the show It, a place everyone was warned not to mess with, and settlers ignoring the warning. Then there's the theory that the mountain isn't just a place, but a fracture. Hikers talk about compasses spinning, time feeling wrong, like the world around them shifts for a moment. Some believe there's a point on the mountain where reality bends, a vortex that opens and closes without warning. Step into it, even by accident, and you don't leave tracks. Dogs can't follow your scent. Search teams walk right past the spot. You simply disappear. Of course, there are even more theories too, and some of the most popular start with the creature stories. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and other wilderness legends people swear they've seen in this region. Others believe the answer is far less supernatural, blaming brutal terrain, sudden weather shifts, or hikers simply getting lost in a place far harsher than it looks. And with hundreds of strange stories coming out of the Appalachians, the danger of the Bennington Triangle becomes a lot clearer. This area sits deep in those mountains, and people familiar with the Appalachians know one thing: you never let your guard down out here. Whatever you believe, the Bennington Triangle remains unsettling, and hikers are still warned about these mountains. Because out here, people can go missing, even if it's only for a little while.